Welcome to Saju Matthew Online Safety University.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I'm also doing well.
Sir,
Please tell me.
sir, I have few questions regarding fundamentals of health and safety.
Fundamentals of health and safety. Welcome. You can go ahead. Please ask.
Thank you, sir. So my first question is, what do you mean by the term health, safety, and environment?
Yeah. The term health, safety, and environment. Health is the state of physical, mental, and social well-being. Safety is the freedom from danger. Environment means totality of the surroundings. There are two types of environment: internal environment and external environment. For example, floor condition of this room is an internal environment factor. Temperature inside, internal environment factor. Illumination inside, internal environment factor. Similarly, outside radiation, outside dust pollution, outside weather condition, these are external environmental factors. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
I have another question.
Please.
So my question is, why we have to maintain good standard of health and safety?
At workplace.
Yes, at
Correct.
workplace.
Why we have to maintain good standard of health and safety at workplace? See, before going into this answer, we are engaging ourselves into various types of activities like construction activity, marine activity, processing activity, transportation activity. Once we are engaging ourselves into various types of activities, if we don't do our job correctly, safely, it is going to affect the health of self and others, safety of self and others, and the environment is going to be damaged, and we are going to exploit this environment excessively. Why I am using the word exploitation? Because this environment is a shared property. It belongs to human being, other floras and faunas also, correct or not? By damaging this environment, for example, we are working in a chemical industry, and if you are allowing the chemical effluents to mix with the water body system, definitely you are going to challenge the existence of the floras and faunas, correct or not? By damaging this environment, we are denying the right of someone to survive in this earth. We are denying the right of someone to survive in this earth, correct or not?
Yes.
So that is why our actions and omissions at workplace can affect the health of self and others, safety of self and others, and the environment can be damaged and exploited excessively. Now, it is the responsibility of every employer to provide safe plant and equipment, safe system of work, safety training, information, instruction, training and supervision, etc. to the people working at site. There are basically three reasons to maintain good standard of health and safety. They can be called as legal reason, social reason, and economic reasons. I will tell you what is legal reason. As per ILO Convention 155, ILO Recommendation 164, Indian Factory Act 1948, Amendment number 1987, OSHA standards, Occupational Safety and Health Administration of OSHA, USA standards, DOSH, Malaysia standard, UAE law number 8 and 32. As per all these law, every employers are legally responsible to provide safe plant and equipment, safe system of work, welfare measures to the people, information, training, instruction and supervision to the people on health and safety matters. It is the responsibility of every employer to provide all this legally. Failing which, if they are not providing it, failing which, these regulators can take punitive and preventive action against the employer. This punitive and preventive action includes, initially, if you are violating health and safety norms, the employer will be issued with a warning notice, improvement notice, then corporate probation orders. The corporate probation orders in the sense, government will be appointing a representative from their side till you improve your safety standard. They will be the one ruling the company. Everyone will be, including managing director, will be under the government nominee. So this is known as corporate probation orders. Even adverse publicity can be there. It can be, even your company can be blacklisted. Adverse publicity can be given against your company. Clear? And in addition to that, you will be given, first of all, in case of a violation, the regulators will take a punitive and preventive action. This punitive and preventive action includes issuance of warning notice, improvement notice, closure, means they will ask you to suspend your business temporarily or permanently sometimes. again they can issue with warning notice, then corporate probation orders, blacklisting of the company, they can impose legal fines against you, and even they can order for imprisonment. The managing director and the people responsible can be imprisoned. So, in order to avoid these types of punitive and preventive actions, we have to take, or the employer should take good measures, and employers should ensure good standard of health and safety at workplace. This is a legal reason. Social reason means our actions, as I told you, our actions and omissions can challenge the existence of the society also. For example, in a gas manufacturing unit, if you are having a negligent approach towards the manufacturing process, definitely it is going to challenge the safety of the people around also. Correct or not? So, our actions and omissions can challenge the safety of the people. So, it is the responsibility of the employer to ensure safety of the people working at site and the society around. They have the social responsibility to protect the environment. It's a social responsibility. Again, one more reason, there is a moral responsibility. Moral responsibility in the sense, every employer has got a moral responsibility to protect their employees from pain and sufferings. It is not that the employer can put the people into danger and earn money, earn profit. No, it is the moral responsibility of every employer to protect their people from pain and sufferings, and they have to provide them adequate welfare measures at workplace. Because why? Because how it is becoming a moral responsibility? Because employee is believing the employer and joining in a company. So naturally it becomes a moral responsibility of the employer to give that belief in return. So employer should ensure that the employee is safely working at his workplace. So this is the social and moral reason. Then comes economic reasons. Economic reason in the sense, if you don't maintain good standard of health and safety at workplace, it can end up into incidents or accidents. We know that every incident and accident can bring direct and indirect economical impact to the organization. For example, after an accident, there can be a the first aid expenditure, there will be medical expenditure, business will be interrupted because others will be, the injured person, in order to attend to the injured person, other workers also will be engaging, that is ultimately going to affect the production. When continuously accidents are happening in the company, what happens? The moral of the people will go down, that will also reflect in the production. Time will be spent on attending the victim, plus time will be spent on incident investigation, again production will be affected. Government may impose legal fines on the company for the legal violations, so again economical losses will be there. Organization's reputation will go down, so ultimately next time you won't get a contract from good major clients, so loss of reputation can also invite economical damages, correct or not? And business interruptions. Again, for the court proceeding, we are running up and down with the documentation in order to convince the court authority. You will be going up and down. Again, it is going to affect your creative activities, and production is going to be affected all the way. Medical expenditure, first aid expenditure. Sometimes after the accident, what happened? The equipment get damaged, and when the equipment is getting damaged, you have to replace the equipment. Again, replacing cost is there, and equipment cost is gone. Again, replacement cost is again additional cost. Again, sometimes what happens, because of the accident, you will be losing good people. Suppose a good worker is dying at workplace, again you are losing a good person, that means you have to pay compensation against that death. Again, medical, in addition to the compensation, you have to recruit another person, recruitment cost is there. Again, train them, again additional cost for training him, correct or not? Again, rehabilitation cost after an accident, in order to clean up that area, in order to dispose the waste material, so rehabilitation cost will be there. All the way, direct and indirect cost implication will be there in case of an accident. So, in order to avoid such direct and indirect cost implication onto the organization, you have to maintain good standard of health and safety. This is the legal reason. So, there are three reasons to maintain good standard of health and safety: legal, social, moral, and economic reasons. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Very good.
So, I have one more question.
Please.
So, my question is, what happens when you don't maintain good standard of health and safety at workplace?
Yes. What happens when you don't maintain good standard of health and safety at workplace? Obviously, it can end up into incidents, accidents, near misses. Incidents are chain of events leading to death, damage or loss of property, or having potential for death, damage or loss of property. Accidents are unplanned, unwanted, unexpected event leading to death, damage or loss of property. Near misses are events which was having potential for an accident or incident but no result occurred, still business interruption will be there. So near miss can happen. Suppose in case of an accident, incident, near miss or dangerous occurrences, you know what is dangerous occurrences? There are certain listed incident by the government itself. They are telling, okay, if this type of incident is happening at workplace, it need to be reported to the local authority. For example, collapse of a building, major gas leak, major fire, death at workplace. These are known as dangerous occurrences. In case of such event occurs, it is the responsibility of the employer or employer's responsibility to intimate this to the local authority. Again, by reporting all this, what happens? If you don't maintain good standard of health and safety, it can end up into incidents, accidents, near misses, dangerous occurrences, etc. By having this, we know there can be direct and indirect economical impact like medical expenditure, first aid expenditure, equipment replacement cost, loss of time, loss of reputation, loss of good people, that is loss of expertise, recruitment cost, additional cost, time lag, totally there can be direct and indirect economical losses will be there due to the accident. This is the ill health, this is the ill effect of not maintaining good standard of health and safety at workplace. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
So my next question is, what are the main barriers to health and safety?
Yes, this is the major problem now in the industry we are facing. What are the major barriers of good standard of health and safety? In fact, as a manager, you want to implement safety. The major barriers are what? Number one, poor safety culture. People don't regard health and safety as a big concern. So, poor health and safety culture, people will say production is more important, safety is not so important. So, poor safety culture is one of the major barriers. Second one, excess production demand. Your production demand is so high, you don't have time to spend on safety aspects. So, excess production demand is another barrier to the safety. Poor competence of the people. People don't have adequate skill, knowledge, experience, and they have not undergone training. So poor competence, so that what happens, whatever instruction you give, people are not going to follow it because they don't know. Poor competence of the operator or the workers, that is another problem. Poor management commitment. Actually, safety becomes only a lip service. And safety is only becoming a lip service. Actually, when it comes to action, management is not ready to invest money on it. They don't want to spend resources on it. They don't want to spend time on it. So what happened? Poor management commitment is one of the barriers. So there are many barriers. First of all, poor safety culture, excess production demand, poor management culture, poor competence of the people, unwanted involvement of the trade unions. Trade union people, what happens, certain area, in order to please the workers, the worker may not be interested to wear PPE. The trade union also will be supporting and unnecessary involving in the fighting with the management. Then management won't be able to implement good standard of health and safety. So naturally what will happen, this is going to affect the unwanted involvement of trade unions. This can also affect. Then poor internal and external economy. I'll tell you one example. Poor internal economy can also affect the safety because company doesn't have money to invest on purchasing PPE. Company doesn't have money to invest on recruiting good people. Company doesn't have money to invest on training people. So naturally what will happen? Safety standard will go down. When internal economy is poor, safety standards can go down. Similarly, even external economy also. External economy, I'll tell you, in the last recession period from Dubai, many senior safety managers drawing 40,000 dirhams, 50,000 dirhams were removed. And as a part of cost cutting, they have removed people from higher salary people were removed. And to whom they have appointed comparatively less experienced who can be purchased at a low cost, they reposted. Clear? So what happened? Why it happened? Because the recession, when recession becomes so severe, the companies were not having adequate amount to invest on it. So when the external economy also becomes poor, it will reflect into the company's safety culture. Or it will be difficult for the organization to implement safety in the right sense. Clear? So these are all the major barriers actually. Poor economy, internal and external economy, poor competence of the people, lack of management commitment, excess production demand, lack of cooperation between the employer and employee. There is no mutual understanding between the employer and employee. See, there is a certain leadership style. There are two types of leadership styles are there. Autocratic leadership and democratic leadership style. Autocratic leadership in the sense Hitler style. I am telling you just obey. I am telling you just obey me. This is the autocratic style. In this style of management, what will happen? I can hardly get cooperation from my employees. Correct or not? So lack of cooperation between employer and employee, it is another barrier to the health and safety implementation. Lack of resources, excessive production demand, poor competence of the people, lack of cooperation between the employees, then involvement of the trade unions, internal and external economy, poor economical conditions, poor competence. These are the common barriers of health and safety. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.